Welcome to the Daily Egyptian Sports at 6. I'm Joe Ragusa alongside Corey Donner and Nare Kirchen. We covered the Saluki volleyball games against Creighton and Drake this weekend, as well as the Saluki football home opener against Missouri State and the cross-country Saluki Invitational.
This Saturday, the cross-country team had held the Saluki Invitational. It's the actually second home meet of the season, and it's the last one for the cross-country team, the men and the women. They both came out on top, first place for the men and the women. So it was a really good race for them overall. Men had 4 runners, senior Neil Anderson, sophomore Zach Darlene, Lucas Cherry, and TJ Heffernan, who hadn't raced previous to this race, who all competed and were all in the top 5. The top 5 runners for the men were actually all SIU runners, and for the women, the top 3 of the top 5 were also Salukis, which was great to see. Freshman Lacey Gibson took home first for SIU. They got Louisville next weekend, which is a huge meet. It's at the University of Louisville. It's a big East Conference team, so a lot going on with the cross-country team. They did well, and they're trying to keep it up moving forward.
Women's volleyball split their weekend series against Creighton and Drake this weekend. Drake, on Friday, they beat Drake 3-1. They dropped the first set to Drake 25-27 after they hit only 125 as a team, but they picked things up afterwards, hitting 294, 536, and 190 in their final 3 sets. Jessica Whitehead led the scoring for SIU with 20 kills to go along with a 343 hitting percentage, while Laura Tolley also had 15 kills and 8 digs. Rachel Brown had 48 assists as a setter, along with 14 digs to get a double-double. SIU battled back from a 2-0 deficit against Creighton to eventually lose 3-1. Jessica Whitehead also led the scoring for SIU with 17 kills, and Rachel Brown had her second double-double of the weekend with 49 assists and 13 digs. Creighton was up 2-0 before SIU stormed back in the 3rd set. Then in the 4th set, SIU looked to have momentum, but 8 lead changes spelled disaster for SIU as they could not finish things in the end, and Creighton ended up winning 27-25 in that 4th set.
The Salukis welcomed Missouri State for their home opener and to start the conference this season. Salukis came on top after Jackson McLaughlin finished with a 22-yard field goal to put the Salukis on top, 20-18. With the exception of missed tackles, particularly in the special teams, the Salukis look pretty good and expect to definitely grow on this season. Junior quarterback Paul McIntosh had 2 rushing touchdowns, and with that second one, he passed over the milestone of more than 1,000 yards career for rushing. Cam Fuller had a one-handed 46-yard reception, but unfortunately the Salukis were not able to turn that into points on the scoreboard. Salukis and the Bears went back and forth mostly in the first half of the game, where both teams scored on their first possessions. After McIntosh scored his first touchdown in the first series of the game, the Bears came back with a 76-yard reception on their first play of the game.
SIU outrushed Missouri State 207 yards to 125, led by Jewel Hampton's 120 yards on 21 carries. Sharif Harris actually saw his first action of the season at running back after not really seeing much playing time. Coach said afterwards that he wasn't really in a doghouse of sorts, but he just couldn't find any field time for Sharif. The game was iced on an interception by James McFadden with about 24 seconds left to go, and the crowd of 13,000 that was announced that was still there by the end of the game was ecstatic.
McIntosh finished the game 13 for 24 with 206 yards in the air.
The defense on the football team actually recorded their first 3 interceptions of the season against Missouri State. Thank you for listening to the Daily Egyptian Sports at 6. Stay tuned for us next week when we go over the football game against Western Illinois, volleyball's conference matchup against Evansville, and cross country's meet at the University of Louisville.